Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really unique kind of therapy, one that turns patients into filmmakers. We're going to see how it helps them grab the camera, and in doing so, reclaim their own stories and pretty much become the authors of their own healing.
This quote, wow, it gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? I mean, how can telling your own story on camera fundamentally change how you see yourself? The journey starts with a really critical look in the mirror. Except this mirror is the lens of a camera. You know, when you're facing some kind of major life trauma, like a serious illness, it's so common to feel like you've completely lost the plot. The narrative you thought you were living, it suddenly gets hijacked. Yeah, you stop being the main character. Your life story isn't directed by you anymore. Instead, it's dictated by appointments, by treatments, by all these events that feel totally out of your hands. And that creates this deep sense of chaos and powerlessness. But there's a therapeutic technique called videotherapy that actually offers a way to step back into the director's chair.
So, how do you get back there? Well, the journey back to being the author of your own life, it doesn't start with a camera. It starts with something much, much simpler, a blank page. Script writing. That's the foundation for rebuilding a story that you can finally control. And this whole approach, it's actually rooted in a really cool concept called bibliotherapy. The core idea is that writing a script isn't just about, telling a story. It's a therapeutic act in itself. It gives a real, tangible structure to all the chaos swirling around in our inner world. The power of that script comes from this four-part process. So first, it helps you surface all those feelings you've buried. Then, you get to organize them into a story that actually makes sense. This lets you process really difficult experiences from a safe distance. And finally, you get to express a narrative that you control. And this is it. This is the whole thing right here. The very first act of getting back control is simply deciding what part of your story you even want to tell. It's this conscious choice about where you're going to place the focus and create meaning right from the get-go. So with that really powerful script in hand, what's next? Well, the next step is to bring it to life. This is where all that internal work of writing moves out into the external world of action and, well, embodiment. This technique is actually borrowed from something called psychodrama. By acting out scenes, you can literally step outside of your own perspective. I mean, think about it. Playing another person in your story, or even watching someone else play you, that creates this powerful distance. And it's in that space that new insights and a really profound sense of emotional release can happen. Just listen to this. By embodying someone else's story, this participant was able to unlock and release burdens from their own. It just goes to show, sometimes the path to understanding ourselves is found by walking for a minute in someone else's shoes. Okay, now we get to what might be the most empowering stage of this entire process. This is where the power to shape your narrative becomes the most real, the most tangible, and the quiet focus of the editing room. Look at this comparison. On the left, you've got the raw experience of illness. It's chaotic, it's fragmented, you're passive. But on the right, that's what comes out of the editing room. A clear, integrated story where the creator has the final say on every single frame. This is that ultimate transformation, from a passive subject to an active author. And this quote just reveals so much. Editing isn't just some technical step, it's a therapeutic one. It's the definitive act of taking all the scattered pieces of an experience and deciding for yourself exactly how they fit together. So after all the writing and the filming and the intense work of editing, there's one last really crucial step: sitting down to watch the final cut. This is where it all comes together. The creator becomes the viewer, and for the very first time, they can see their own story from the outside, not as some chaotic mess they're living through, but as a complete narrative, a story of their own strength and resilience. So the film, it doesn't just document the past, it becomes a tool for the future. It's like a personal monument to a journey of survival, something the creator can actually go back to for reinforcement and a reminder of their own strength long after the therapy is over. So ultimately, this whole structured process of filmmaking, from the very first word on the script to that final cut, becomes its own profound journey. It's a method for transforming the chaos of trauma into a lasting testament of healing and empowerment. And this idea, it extends way beyond therapy.
I mean, even one of the world's master storytellers reminds us of the immense courage it takes to stop hiding, to face our own narratives, and put them up on screen for the world and for ourselves to finally see. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to reflect on. If you were to pick up a camera today, if you were given the chance to turn your own experiences into a film, what is the one story that you would finally need to tell?